Hi, and welcome to the holiday edition of The Reflective View. I'm your host, Bonnie Gilgallon. I'm here with fabulous psychic Patricia DeJoseph, and our guest today is Andrea Peck, who's the owner of Old California Lavender. And I'm going to ask Patricia, as we've done before, to sort of explain how she got to know Andrea and her connection with the whole lavender.
I would love to do that. I hosted several events that Andrea and her mom attended, and that's how I originally met her. I don't remember how far back that actually goes, but I know you attended several of them. And she also bought 2 of my books, which made me very happy, and told me that her mom frequently read from them as inspiration for her day. And then she disappeared. I didn't see her for a little while and reappeared in June. And she has just been the most amazing angel since June and done some wonderful things to help me personally and physically, because I was having muscle cramping in quite difficult, challenging ways. And the lavender arthritis oil, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Has helped immensely. So when I did the reading for her back in June, the first thing I kept seeing on her was all this lavender surrounding her, and I thought that was just indicating happiness, because lavender is the color psychically that gives that impression or that message. And then she started laughing, and she said, "You don't know how amazing you really are, because I actually own a lavender farm." And then from there, I discovered how far back you've gone with this and how much studying you've done investigating lavender all the way back to ancient times. And I thought it was so fantastic and fabulous to listen that all you had, the knowledge you've taken in on lavender, that I had to have you on our show.
Thank
so
you.
Thank you so much for being here.
I wanted to ask you, just to get started, for folks who don't know much about it at all, talk to us a little bit about some of the properties of lavender, what it can do for you, both emotionally, physically, mentally, that kind of thing.
Yes, lavender, first of all, I have a lavender farm. I have 10 acres in Fallbrook. Mm-hmm. And this all came about actually in talking at one of your sessions, Pat, mm-hmm. where my aura was looked at. Mm-hmm. And my aura was very, very purple. And I was at a stage of my life where I wanted to do something that I could basically give back, right, and start to feel that I was doing something for my soul. Mm. And the Lavender Farm popped up as an opportunity to really create, I'll call it, products and processes around wellness. Right. And I started researching the area of lavender really as a hobby. It wasn't something serious yet. Mm-hmm. And as I started looking at lavender and going back to historical and history, I uncovered this whole knowledge of lavender. First of all, lavender is part of the mint family. It goes way back into the Egyptian times where they used it in their mummification process. Really? It goes back to the Greek and Romans, who used it not only in all of their bathing and all of their washing and the washing of their feet, mm-hmm. but also the Roman soldiers. It was one of the few oils that they took into battle. And the reason they took it into battle is because it's an antiseptic, and they used it for wounds. It was also used very frequently during the times of the plague in mm-hmm. England. Mm-hmm. There were numbers of people that kept lavender around them and wore lavender so that they could really prevent the plague, and it did. It prevented them from getting the plague. Wow. There's even the rumor, and I like to share this, that Cleopatra may have seduced Caesar and Mark Antony with lavender oil. So very, very ancient. It comes to play very much into the early parts of the world. It also comes to play in aromatherapy, mm-hmm. where some of the first aromatherapists uncovered that when they had they were working with some chemicals, and when they accidentally spilt the chemicals on their hand and they applied lavender oil, the burn stopped hurting and there were no scars. Wow. And so that is one of the first beginnings, and that was in the 1920s when they started to really study aromatherapy. And the last little tidbit of history is that if you go to Europe, if you go to England, if you go to France, the doctors there study aromatherapy. And in the operating rooms, and in after when they're dealing with cancer patients, and in the maternity wards, there is lavender being spread around the room because they found that it stops pain in patients without having to give them very heavy-duty drugs.
Now that is the aromatherapy part of it, the aroma, just the aroma.
Aromatherapy, just the part of when lavender enters your system. So when Pat and I first started working together, and she was telling me about some of where her pain was, is a lot of people today, we'll call it, we say we're stressed, and we'll say, oh my God, everything hurts. A lot of that is nerve pain. And when you look at lavender, often people smell lavender believing that lavender is a fragrance that I'm smelling. But actually it's going directly to your brain, and it's calming the nerves in your brain, which is shutting down the pain. And so that's why so many people use it for, I'll just say, restless leg syndrome, shingles, nerve pain, any kind of neurological pain. It can shut down the pain in your brain.
And I also would like you to share, I've been doing it ever since you brought it up, with deep breathing and breathing in the lavender, about how it can energize us, or going a little deeper can relax us. So would you talk about that?
Yes. One of the things that we've talked about before is that when you take lavender, it's one of the few herbs that if you take very light whiffs of it, it's going to put you in a calm, because it actually goes right to your brain and it calms your brain. If you take deep breaths and you do maybe 4 or 5, 6 of them, it actually wakes you up and it actually energizes you. So it's one of the few herbs that can go both ways, because again, when we're smelling lavender, it's not necessarily a fragrance. It's actually going to our nerves and to our brain.
I have a question for you. Does mainstream medicine / beauty products, cosmetics, do they use it as much as they should? I mean, is it in the general population as popular and as known, some of the properties you just discussed, as I would think it should be at this point?
A lot of lavender, first of all, is in so many products. If you look at any of the bases in some of the major perfumes, even if you look at Chanel No. 5, they carry lavender as a base in all fragrances. It's very, very much used, as it's been used for 2,000 years in making perfumes and oils. They're still distilling the flowers the same way. Basically, I actually distill the flowers on my farm, where I take the buds, I have a distilling machine that steams the flowers, and part of the flower becomes oil, and you skim that oil right off the top of the distilling water, and that is the pure lavender oil, and the rest of it is called lavender water. And again, it can be utilized in all of the aspects of healing that we talk about. So a lot of companies and products are using the lavender water, they're using the lavender oil, and they're putting it into their mix of fragrance.
And one thing I'd like to interject here, that I learned actually selling or distributing a line of healthcare and skincare products, we do not recognize how effective our skin is in what we take in. This is the reason why they're starting to come up with patches for like smoking and so forth, because our skin is our largest organ, and what we place on our skin, believe it or not, within a matter of 30 seconds goes through the
whole
bloodstream and goes directly to the brain and affects the whole body. They actually did an interesting experiment I thought was really funny but amazing. You take a clove of garlic and put it in between your toes. Within 30 seconds, you will taste that garlic in your tongue.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
That's wild.
You know, it is so, what you're saying ties in so much to what I do with lavender.
That's why I wanted to bring it up, because
I tell people, if you
what
have
you're
migraine,
doing to your skin definitely affects you instantly.
migraine headaches, a common symptom a lot of people have is you take a little lavender oil, you massage it right here in the temples of your head, a little bit under your nose, and within a few minutes your migraine headache is going to disappear. The same thing about the bottom of your feet. Lavender oil is very powerful because your nerve endings, everything is on the bottom of your feet. And to Pat's point, that's why that clove of garlic, you rub the oil. I tell people to put that right at the last minute when you're ready to go to sleep. Rub the lavender oil on your feet, bottom of your feet.
And what I have been
Knocks you
doing
right
now
out.
with the arthritis oil that I started using to help with the leg cramps, after I put it on the various areas that are affected, from my waist down, I put it on both my legs and my hips. But then I take a little bit on my fingertips and put it right at the tip of my nose. And it really helps at night to relax me, to clean the sinuses.
Yes.
And really get that clear air coming,
Going,
you know,
right.
as you're breathing during the night, you take on the lavender, and it's very calming and relaxing.
I wanted to get, because I know we have limited time, two things.
Yeah,
First of all,
yeah.
tell me how you got the lavender farm growing. Is lavender easy to grow? How did you discover Fallbrook? And then also get into, I know that you guys are going to do some health events involving lavender down the road. Talk a
Yeah,
little
I
bit about
really
that.
want to bring that up so everybody's aware of it.
I think that's wonderful. Well, first of all, lavender is like a weed. You do not need to water it. Actually, if you own a lavender plant and you overwater it, it's going to die. So we always say treat it like a weed, water it 3 times sparingly. I water maybe once or twice a week. Let those roots always remain dry. Cut it back every year, cut it way back, and it blossoms in the spring. And again, no care. Do not put any fertilizer, any kind of ingredients on it. It will grow grow like crazy. And it grows all over the world. I think what a lot of people are not aware of is that in America, North America, Sequim, Washington, which you wouldn't believe is the capital of lavender.
Really?
And
Wow.
they
didn't know
have
that.
at least 15 to 25 lavender farms. And they have a lavender festival every year. And they will show anyone all the secrets of growing lavender. And there's over 300 varieties of lavender. So on the farm, I have 7 varieties of lavender because lavender does different things depending on which lavender plants you purchase.
So let's talk about the events and health and how you guys are going to work together.
Yes, I would
on
really
all
like
this.
to go to that.
Yes.
I really want to focus more of my energy and attention to going into health and wellness. So lavender definitely, of course, really connects with this. I would like to bring in where I use my psychic talents and gifts to do a body scan so people are aware of what's going on within their system, and then give guidance as to what they can do to change what's going on, and to recognize that everything that we do stems first from the spiritual, mental, emotional side, and then manifest in physical. So how we empower ourselves with our thoughts in regards to health and wellness is so important as well. And then incorporating with Andrea in working the lavender along with this, so we can, I'll let Andrea talk more about, we want to put together health and wellness retreats.
Yeah, our idea is that we would like you to join us for a session not only with Pat, because she has the ability to look at you in the whole and really get a sense of what may be going on in your body and in your mind, sort of giving you an overview of where you are currently. And I produce over 25 products that are all organic, they're all natural, and you would be able to, in this workshop, test and try some of these items to see if maybe they can add to where you are right now in your life. And this will give you a chance to experience lavender and also see that it has a benefit for you. If anything, it's going to reduce your stress levels.
Which is one of the hugest, biggest health issues that most people have these days. Yeah.
We're going to have some fun with cooking as well, because there's some neat little goodies that you provide as well. Maybe you'd like to talk a little on that subject.
Some teas?
Well, one of the magic areas of lavender is in the tea area. Tea can do multiple ways of healing internal organs and lots of different aspects of your body, but also the ability to take lavender and apply it to lots of different foods, soups and chickens, and also desserts. It works very well with lemons, and so we'll be demonstrating some tasting, and it's always fun. I make a great lavender Cosmo drink.
Well, that sounds great.
I make a great lavender margarita,
Yeah.
and it's a hot item. People really, because it's purple, and it's like, it's different, and it's great for parties.
So we're running out of time. So do you have a website, somebody to contact you if they were interested in maybe visiting the lavender farm? How would they get a hold of you?
And contact me by oldcalifornialavender.com. You can also, I'll give you a phone number. It's 951-640-4700. That's direct, so you can talk about what's going on for you and if you need any particular product. I also have my products featured at Deborah's Cottage in Costa Mesa. And we're going to also, Pat, we don't want to forget this, in the spring when the lavender blooms, we'd like to invite you out to the farm. We're going to do some very special events on the farm.
And I will do psychic readings there, so I will be on hand and available during this. And
how can people reach you?
It's going to be amazing. My cell phone is always glued to my hand, and you can reach me anytime at 760-578-6929. Again, that's 760-578-6929.
And real quick, this is our holiday show, but really quick, what do you hope for the holidays for everybody? What's your wish for everyone?
My wish for everyone is that you have a chance, through all this craziness, to stand back and remember what's most important. Take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself.
Okay. Mine is, what you give out, you get back, so just take a breath and let it go. Patricia?
I'm like a small child at Christmas. I think it's the most wonderful holiday of the year. I get totally excited over it. But I think what needs to be remembered is what the true spirit of Christmas is. And that's in sharing our love with others, connecting with our family, and giving out that wonderful, loving energy. It will come back tenfold. Please share it.
And thank you to our guest, Andrea Peck, and happy holidays to everybody. We'll see you next time
Happy holidays
on The Reflective View.
Thank you.